everybody, and welcome back to the Scenic Route Astrology. My name is Michaela, and today I am here with my friend Debbie Lima from the Starr of the Universe Tarot. Hello.
Hi.
We're excited to bring her on. She is from Southern California, and she is a Vedic astrologer, an expert tarot reader, and now a 3-time selling author. So we're here to talk about her books, which is very exciting. And she's also going to do a tarot reading as a demonstration for us. And we're going to talk about the end, where you can find her, where you can find her services, and if you'd like to book a tarot reading and channeled messages through her. So she's very gifted. I met Debbie, I think it was back in like June or July sometime. And I was like in a dark place myself. I really needed some guidance and some help. And she was referred to me through a friend. And she gave me an incredible tarot reading where we like laughed and cried at the same time. And it completely set me on a new path. It was like the messages that I really, really needed to hear at the time. And it really, really helped me. And I also have her books, 2 of her books here with me that we'll be talking about, that are full of amazing, positive, life-affirming messages. Seriously. And they really do help you on your spiritual journey, on your day-to-day life. So we're here to talk about her books, how she came about into astrology and tarot reading, and everything about her. So you get to know her and hopefully go see her for your needs as well. So hi. Hope that was a nice intro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, I was like, wow, I think she did so great. Yeah, I was definitely started horoscopes really young. My grandma is actually a tarot reader. That's what she did for a living. So that's where I was actually exposed to it like most of my life. I did grow up initially scared of it and everything that was spiritual, because I mean, I grew up Catholic, so we were like, which was kind of a little let's say contradicting, to say the least. To see, but as you get older and you get more into your spirituality, you actually learn that to break down a lot of the conditioning, you'll be able to see that a lot of what is natural spirituality really is all in the same. So that's definitely where my books are at. You're breaking down those realms, you're breaking down those thoughts of conditioning while finding the pure essence of what it is to follow your intuition, to follow, that gut feeling, and really just working for the light, right?
So how
angels
did you, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, how did you start tapping into this realm? Like, when did you feel like you started being able to harness those gifts? Like, did it start with your grandmother, or?
I actually, as a kid, I noticed that I could, a lot of the things that I would say would happen exactly the way I would say it. That by the time I was like a preteen teenager, I had this thing that like, oh, nobody ever listens to Debbie. That's why Debbie's always right.
So you're like,
I mean, I was like, yeah, naturally I thought I was just being ignored, like, or that I was a kid and nobody really was listening to me. It wasn't until after my grandmother passed that I really started tapping into it. I feel like at that point she had already distributed her gifts to the next generation, right? Of course, we are all born with our own light, and depending on how you nurture it and how you initially harness it right yourself by defeating whatever demons it is inside or exterior to you, whatever tests the universe tends to throw at you, right?
Yeah.
So most of us, I want to say, know that we've been going through these challenges since we were children. Like, we go through some things that normal children just don't go through, or is not a lot of people do not heal from. And it's a certain strength that a lot of us recognize within ourselves before we even start to let it out with the world.
So I mean, as part of my process too, it's been like a part of it is like growing up, and for you is definitely generational with your grandmother and she passed it down. But then there's like so much knowledge out there that you put in your books, right? And you've taught me, just being your friend too, like you've taught me about angels and fairies and the spiritual realm and, you know, kindred spirits and soulmates and all this stuff. And so it's like, it's so much information. So how is like your process really coming into that? Do you feel like it's so you could write these books?
I basically not a long time, at least 3 or 4 years ago, I had this concept. I'm just gonna document my journey. I know that I'm going through this spiritual journey. I know that I'm going through initially, and yes, it started with kindred spirits, which led to, twin flame, the twin flame journey, which initially led to breaking out of the twin flame journey and actually realizing that, that is not why we're here. Because a lot of people, this is the common misconception. It's like we're here to find our soulmate and we're here to find love. And it's like, no, we're here to find oneness. Us. Love is within us. The moment we could find that, then yes, eventually we'll be able to attract, because like attracts like. So if you're in a higher vibrational spirit, where you can love yourself, or where you can see that or I could do bad all by myself, it's like, then you're in a happier place just in general. Yeah. Now you're not looking for that missing piece, because we're not missing any pieces. The only pieces we're missing are the memories that, that they brought us with amnesia with, right? When you came and you're born into this reality, to your slate is wiped clean, supposedly, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That's where you're learning to develop again as your human experience. You're here again. Like once you wake up to the soul factor, and then, hey, you know what? I've been here a few times. That movie Soul, the new one, that kids movie, it's so cute. I really just sat down and watched it the other day.
Yeah.
And that idea is so beautiful. The fact that it's like, you know what, like that in between realm, it's like you really are learning just to come back and do it right. And once you realize that right is not necessarily right for everybody's path, right, and you're over trying to do it correctly, then you can ascend. There's other levels besides Earth, but people get so stuck. This is their favorite cycle.
Yeah.
Because you can make mistakes, and it's okay for you to make mistakes, essentially, right? Because we're all learning from our mistakes. But it's like eventually you're going to want to be at a higher place. Eventually you're going to be tired of having the universe have to serve your ass karma because you want to do something bad that you're not supposed to do.
Right. I found it actually wild too, is like the more I've known, right, I know the more I cannot get away with. And not that I want to get away with stuff, but it's like your higher self knows. Right?
Yeah, it's like, hey, I taught you this lesson already. Don't play with fire twice.
Right.
Don't. It's still gonna hurt when you put your hand in the flame. Like, I'm just letting you know.
It's exactly what it's like, right. But on like a different, like on a spiritual level, it's exactly it, right?
Well, there's this idea. I believe it was introduced in the Bible, but it's like, a child puts his hand in the flame and the flame does not know whether it is child or adult. It will still burn. Right? And that's the way karma works. They don't know who you are and what you are. Like, to a certain extent, you did this bad, and guess what? You're going to have to gain the responsibility and get the consequences for it, whether you're going to accept them or not. Because you accepted to do this, then you need to accept the consequences. Right. Or like the whole very reason we have free will, right?
Right.
Oh, that's my favorite one. My favorite one to talk about. The reason that is, because people be damn the devil and damn Lucifer and damn. I'm like, hold on. Who are you guys calling on? Yeah. I'll be like, wait a minute. I'll be like, if Lucifer didn't come and fight for free will, your ass wouldn't be up here fucking yelling about Lucifer. It's like, you watch your mouth, Right. It's like, it's kind of funny because like I have Lilith and Pisces in the first house. So Pisces and Lilith, she's my friend. It's like dark side of the moon vibes, like, and initially that's whose wife is that? Lucifer. And the way that I think, because if we know the story of Lilith, Lilith was initially Adam's first wife, right?
Yeah.
And they got into an altercation over her wanting to be on top. He did not want to let her initially, while they were making love, having sex, whatever. He didn't want to let her get on top. So there's an altercation, an argument in Eden in the middle of the night, and God comes out like, hey, the fuck's going on? It's the middle of the night. The fuck you guys doing? Like, Heller, what's going on? And fucking Adam stopping his feet, like, she doesn't want to listen to me.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she do what I want?
Why can't I control her?
Right? And Lilith is like, bruh, I'm just trying to blow your fucking mind. Like, let me show you something new really quick. And that is like, okay, I'm not going to deal with this. Lilith, go with my brother. Adam, here's a dumb bitch. I don't know what to tell you. Good night. So, then we had Eve, and then Eve fucking, what did she do? She fucking fell for the serpent. I bet you damn well if that serpent would have came to Lilith would be like, God said no.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you want a submissive bitch, oh yes, please
Mm-hmm.
tell me to do wrong things.
Well, the story of Lilith is one of my favorites too. I'm reading a book by Tom Jacobs, one of my teachers, on her too, because like the feminine energy that we will have, which we all have a Lilith in our chart somewhere, is so damned. It's so damned for just claiming our own feminine energy. And it's just really wild and interesting to see it play out in the collective. Although I do, on a positive note, see a shift, with women more like claiming their own, especially when they reach into spirituality, like you, like powerful women, like claiming your own authority, it's important. But okay, so hold on.
Also with Lilith too, that like she does have that darker aspect to her as well. She did eventually become the mother of all demons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, her positive aspects, like Lilith, it's so funny because we're in Scorpio season, right? My sister has Lilith in Scorpio as well, and that's actually a needy factor or a needy feminine placement for Scorpio, which could lead to obviously some codependency issues that could lead to different, like, whereas my aspect, my Pisces and Lilith in its low vibration will always I have a natural disorder, an anxiety disorder that's always going to keep me small. I'm only 4'11". I'm about 130 pounds. I'm always going to be tiny.
You're tiny.
No matter what I eat, no matter what I what I do to try to gain weight or whatever, I will gain weight, but I will not lose my shape. And it's because of this anxiety disorder that I have with having Pisces in the first house in Lilith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's that aspect, or there's this aspect where I actually attract, because I look young and I'm never going to age in that type of aspect, men with pedophilic behaviors.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yes, it's one of those low vibrational traits, and it's very funny because it's very rare for a man my age to approach me. It's always somebody way older or younger. Like even my baby daddy's 3 years younger than me. So
there's also because I have Lilith in the 12th house with the Pisces house, but in Libra. So there's an aspect with that Lilith too, where we actually take in the collective's energy around these dark qualities. Like they find us, like you're saying, because mine is underneath Pisces energy. Yours is straight up Pisces energy, but an Aries quality. You take in those dark qualities from everybody else. It's like they project it onto you.
Oh yeah, and it's like it's because of that. I've always had that that problem being around other females. I always have like that 5 of Wands energy around, especially older females, where they feel like they need to compete with me. Where I'm just like literally living my day-to-day life. Like I've had that ever since I was young, which is also one of those weird qualities to be growing up with, especially as a child.
Yes.
Because you don't understand what this is. And I'm telling you, I pretty much look like this since kindergarten. Yeah. I kid you not. I was like, if that picture wasn't in storage, I would show you, like, I look like this. all my life. And
You're
it's
gonna make everybody want Lilith in the first house forever young.
no, it's cool, but it's not, because when you go into those rabbit holes, like you said, that 12th house energy, that's where you go like, oh my God, Epstein didn't kill himself. Like those rabbit holes are not fun. Like, and those are like, and a lot of those rabbit holes you go down really are pulled on where your Lilith is at, because that's where you actually get that portal from the dark side of the moon, which is actually why I actually chose that picture for modern day spirituality too. Because if you notice, it's like a shadow aspecting the moon.
Yes, we'll get to this. We'll get to this. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. So how did all this get to, because Adventures with Fairies and Angels, is that the first book?
No, that was the first intended book where I actually bought, my notebook, and I said, you know what, this is my idea and this is what I'm going to do with it. Yeah. So if you see, like, most of these pages, these are all original, like me sitting down in my backyard, like, I'm going to write this book, and with the exception with a few of them that I pulled out of my gallery, like from docs, because I was writing a lot before I even decided I was going to make a book, which is actually how modern day spirituality came about. But this was the one that I actually really, like, in my heart wanted to see come into fruition.
I'm sharing the screen with everybody so they can see.
This is the ebook. I actually funny story behind Adventures with Fairies and Angels. The ebook is Adventures with Fairies and Angels, and the paperback book is Adventures with Angels and Fairies. The reason why that came to be is I'm actually very dyslexic.
Oh, okay.
So I never fixed it. I am extremely dyslexic. So I actually, it stayed that way as a joke.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah, so I was like, it's kind of cool. Like, I get to tell people, like, hey, is there a yeah, initially it was, but I actually decided to keep it that way. So when you ask me why it happened, I can tell you.
That's why. That's why. So what inspired it, really?
Like I said, I was in this very prominent idea that I am going to document my journey. Mm-hmm. So when I had started writing these, I was talking to one of my neighbors. He's actually one of what we call what we call a divine masculine. He's a divine masculine. He's just not my divine masculine. Okay. Yeah. So I actually learned a lot from him, and he learns a lot from me. However, he was a what we call a karmic soulmate when I first met him. But he has actually ascended and done his work aside of me, because I actually triggered him a lot when I first met him.
Like we do.
Like divine feminines do at times.
Right.
But he's actually an inspiration for a lot of writings, not just in this one, but a couple of them in modern day spirituality. I was really obsessed with him. He's a Leo.
Oh, damn Leos.
Those damn Leos, girl. He's an Aquarius rising, so
yeah.
A Virgo Venus. So I was just so all over him. My Aries and Venus is like, that's my divine feminine. And then you're like, hello, you're the girl. He's supposed to be the divine masculine. It was very confusing. But this is where I realized that I had some distorted masculinity in me that I had to really look, which he very much mirrored and projected onto me, and vice versa. So his biggest thing has been being his Mercury is also in Libra, so he's very like, if he doesn't perceive it as fair, he has to open his mouth about it. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't open his mouth in a way where it's actually gonna help the situation, whereas he's just gonna voice the opinion of this is why it's not good.
Okay.
You know, it's such a Libra thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a Libra thing.
Yeah.
And I grew up with Libras. My mom's a Libra, my dad's a Libra, my sister's a Libra, my son's a Libra, and then my big brother is a Scorpio. So I'm the only Taurus, and then I'm a Pisces rising. So there was a lot of tears growing up. But regardless of this matter, like he just didn't. He had a way of doing that, I guess, because his mom's a Cancer, he was able to get away with that for a long time. And when I would correct him and be like, hey, you're actually acting like da 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 da, he would get equally offended. So instead of continuing to instead of being like, well, I was just saying it, because I was trying to have your back or your best interest, he would just reject the whole mission, abort mission altogether. So it's like, okay, so because you're not right, you decided you don't want to help anymore. So we would have we would have that very controlling dynamic. So eventually we got in the hugest argument ever because I was just like, bro, you're breadcrumbing me. I'm not gonna deal with this. We could be just friends, but we have to be just friends, or better yet, let's not be friends at all. And we'll just, move on and be our separate ways. We're neighbors. We don't have to talk every day. We don't have to anything ever at all. And him being a Leo, was very prideful about that. And the Aquarius in him too was just because a Leo cannot be confronted, especially when it comes to sexuality or the dominance factor of it, or trying to move on if this person is not going to is not the one initiating it.
No,
now a Taurus does
go ahead.
A Taurus does not give a fuck whether they want to initiate it or not. If it's gone far enough, it's gone far enough.
Yeah.
So then we had that argument, and I remember I walked away. I looked at him. I was so angry. And I told him, I was like, we didn't need to go through this. We went through this. This is a whole ass over the top argument because you just didn't want to be real with me. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm just and I'm very disappointed in you. And I swear to God, his eyes, he was looking above me, obviously, because like I said, I'm very small, so he's he had the door open for me. I was getting out of his car, and I could see his eyes were watering, and I was just yeah. I was like, I'm not that bitch. I'm not that person that I want to see you cry or whatever. But at the same time, I want you to understand what you did. Because I'm not gonna be the one to wallow in my pity, knowing that it wasn't my fault or that I'm not good enough or because da 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 da, which I want to say had never fucking came across in his life. So here we are, about a year or so later from that, and we're the best of friends.
Yeah, you guys work through it. So
yeah,
this is what inspired this book, because it was this kind of really powerful dynamic.
That was that inspired this book, and to get done pretty much, but it didn't get done obviously until later. But that ending of that relationship, did inspire the essence of this book, and the start of the relationship after this one is actually the one that got these books into fruition.
Wow, that's beautiful. Actually, that's beautiful because that's such a big learning process for you all in between. So you just wrap it up, you know what I mean? It's like a full circle. So what can somebody get from this book if they're gonna buy it? What can they expect from it? What kind of how can they work with it is what I want to say.
So the best part of Adventures with Angels and Fairies is it's where once upon a time meets real life situations. So first of all, you're breaking that once upon a time conditioning. Not everything once upon a time is happily ever after. However, they do have the Pandora's effect, where you do find that hope, that light at the end of the tunnel, and each and every single one of those stories, every single one of those journal entries, those writings, those poems, whatever you want to call it, it all has that same effect.
I got chills right now. I got chills. And I'm looking at the table of contents too, right? Like the Warrior of Love. Hold on. My Aries son fucking loves that first title. But like even Web of Fate, What Lies in the Dark, The Hidden Truth. Like I need this book. I need this book right here. Because I feel like I just resonate with all these titles already in your story.
Let me tell you, the Web of Fate.
Mm.
The Web of Fate was actually, I want to say, a direct download from the planet of Andromeda. If you guys ever have the time to really take a look at that, that's a very complicated dimension to to explain over right now. But Andromeda, initially, that's where crickets come from.
Yeah.
And I know we were kind of talking earlier about animal spirits, right? So crickets come from the planet of Andromeda, and in the story Web of Fate, I am actually saving a cricket from a spider. Yeah. And I remember I told you this, like we talked about this a little bit. If you guys go ahead and check on my Instagram a little later, if you guys want to follow me over there, I have this picture of a spider that actually took hold of a baby lizard this year. Last year was the time that I wrote that Web of Fate where I actually saved that cricket. That cricket just so happened to be like, I don't want to like spoil it, but it just so happened to be a mother cricket.
Mother cricket saved the babies too.
Yeah. And I saved the babies, I saved the mama, and the ultimate moral of the story was that you cannot save everyone, but the people that you save will be worth saving.
And that's like so important right now, because I think a lot of us healers and light workers and people in the spiritual, like we want, like sometimes the world gets overwhelming, right, with all the stuff going on, but you can't do everything. You can only do what you can do, you know. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like the homeless animals, the whales, the freaking tuna fish getting killed, like the slaughterhouse, like I can't do it all. Like I don't know where to begin, right?
Oh my God. And then meat is such a big factor. Like, cause then there's some of us that we can't be vegans. I'm sorry. Some of us cannot be vegetarians. And as much as we love to, you know, contribute to that, we have this guilting factor where it's like, well, if we go into this grocery store and all of these animals are already gone, it's going to go to waste if none of us touch it. You know, like it sucks, you know. It's this cycle. It's that divide and conquer, you know, type of ideal. What I started doing is I started praying over my food, to be honest. Like anytime I fast meat, so I don't eat it all the time, because I do feel the difference in my body, and I know a lot of it does have to do with the way that they the way that they do with the slaughterhouses and stuff like that.
The energy,
the energy, yes, the negative energy that becomes a part of it, especially if you know your history and how they used to do animals back in the day, and the way that they used to transfer it, you know, back in the trains and whatnot, and how the meat would decay, and then you were going and you were feeding it to, you know, that's how we got, like, you know, FDC and all that stuff, you know. Like if you really know your history, like, you know, you just, that's the one you don't want to touch. It's like we did a lot of not investigations, a lot of breaking down on trying to make sure that we're not feeding bad meat to the people, for you guys just to be like, fuck it, we don't want to eat meat. Right. It's bad for you. Right. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. It's like, okay.
Well, even though, like, if people do, like, you know, I find them, they might eat meat, which I don't, right? But they're helping or saving the world in a different way, because they like they go and volunteer at this place that I don't do. You know what I mean? So we can all do our part in these little ways. But like your message, this book is awesome, like, and how you just like transmuted like your actual, which I think many people should learn how to do, is to journal and transmute your actual messages, and then connect to your higher source and higher power, you know. And it takes practice and time, and obviously openness and all these other skills that have to come into play. But look at what you can make. Like you can make these beautiful messages in these books, which I guess we'll get into the next one, because like I have these other two, And I have a little bit of candle wax because I'm actually using this in a ritual a couple days ago. So sorry, but I use these with my rituals. So, which is amazing.
You know what? You know what? That's what they're kind of aimed for. They're meant for a healing and a divination tool. Like, so wherever you feel like you could use it, where you could work your light to the highest degree, go ahead. Like, I feel like I'm actually really honored to hear that you're using it in a ritual, because you're going above and beyond what I could have even thought to do with my book. So that actually makes me feel really good.
100%, like, because when I started reading this one, it's the Starr of the Universe 2021 inspired weekday motivational messages, which can be used even if it's not 2021, because these messages have been channeled through you, and they're like amazing context that sometimes you just open up to it. I just opened up to one, and I was like, I knew I needed this, but I didn't know like it was going to come out like this message. And that's like what you did. And it's magic. It's literal freaking magic in my hands. So I get really excited about this, and I get emotional too, because my Cancer moon is all like emotional right now.
No, I feel you. I feel you. And it was so funny because I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, man, I was like, her Cancer moon, my Pisces rising. I was like, I hope that this podcast doesn't end up completely in tears, because I was like, we really got to make sure we're taking care of that.
That's why we didn't wear makeup.
Right? Oh, that's exactly why I don't wear makeup. I was like, I can't channel and wear makeup, because I was just like, there are times I'm channeling in such deep energy, or just some like regretful 5 of Cups energy, right? Scorpio energy, or some serious, just like confusion, like 2 of Swords energy, and you just like, you can't help it, the tears start forming, because you feel it in your chest and you feel it in your face, and then you're just like, oh man, like even if it's not yours, you could still empathize that feeling, be like, I'm sorry that you're going through this right now.
Yes, I agree. I mean, and for those who don't know, it is a Scorpio new moon today, and it's opposing Uranus to like a 7-degree arc. So it's a very emotional, intense day, and it's exact right now over here. Yeah.
That's amazing, because Uranus is in Taurus right now, and that's my sun sign.
I know.
I'm excited.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about these weekday motivational messages then. So what was the inspiration behind this, and your process behind it? Because they're amazing messages.
My weekday motivational messages, if you have been following me on Instagram since January, they actually came up in January. They were actually a collaboration with this place. It was initially with I met someone through doing the readings, much like I met you, Michaela, but her name was Uki, and I actually developed a friendship with her where we were able to do this collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And I was providing these motivational messages, and she was because she initially had a platform for a what is called Starr Life NG. Starr Life NG is actually a channel that is for Indian soap operas, like Indian from India soap operas, and or Hindi soap operas as well. But she had a very strong platform and a strong following, because she was doing social media tech for that company, right? Mm-hmm. But me and her were friends. I was actually providing these motivational messages for free for her, and she would decorate them and create posters and go post them on her platform. Mm-hmm. For like to also expose me, obviously, but they were like, for her platform.
Yeah.
So at the time I was growing my platform as well on Instagram. So we actually got a good amount of motivational messages out, as far as Monday motivational messages, at least 3 or 4 months, I want to say. And I got tired because I started doing the Sunday week ahead readings, and I was doing love and general messages at the same time. So like, even like on Sunday, I did I channeled in the new moon messages for elements, right? And then I did a personal reading afterwards at 9:30. I was like, whoa, I got to go to sleep. because I was like, I felt the energies because I called in the energies of the new moon. Then I'm calling in personal energies for this for one of my clients and whatnot. And now I'm like fading, like fading.
Yes.
That's not like I felt it like in and out of consciousness, but it was not consciousness, more out of timelines, right? Because my Pisces will trigger that. I
Yeah.
have actually have like I'm following someone over on IG as well. The his name is Michael of New Earth Knowledge. I'm actually trying to get him as a coach for me as well. And I remember I had told him, I was like, I'm sorry, like my Pisces is actually very elusive, and sometimes I'm like working well into the night, and then I want to create these reports, and I'm texting you like at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So I was like, and I know that's very unprofessional. And he goes, no, it's fine.
Time isn't a thing for us. Yeah. It's not even a thing. Yep.
It was just like, and it's sometimes like right now it's 2, 3, 4. It's like, to me, it's just like I can't help it. Like those portals always open up to me.
Yep.
So it's just like sometimes it's just like, wait, when, where, and how, and where, why? Wait, just okay, never mind. What time am I in?
Yep.
I just need just give me the year. Just give me the year. Like, don't even give me a month.
Are
And
you
a day
still
at
in
this point.
California?
Right? Oh my God, that's one of them too. What time in Los Angeles am I in, please? Because Los Angeles, if you guys like, if you really know Los Angeles's history, we have so much portals already that have been tampered with. If you guys know about Charlie Manson, if you guys know about, way back in the day with like Black Dahlia, and just like the different energies, and even here like local legend type stuff right here in Downey in 1889, I believe, or 1899. There was we have what's called Rancho Dominguez right here. It's a rehabilitation center. Before it was on the side that it was actually on the opposite street. And all of those buildings actually still exist to this day. And you see some pretty weird stuff going on over there. Like one time we were just passing by, and we could see, like, I kid you not, like 3 or 4 birds attacking a cat.
What?
On those lands. Yeah. And it's just like there's this weird energy that draws you there. So what it was a rehabilitation back in those days, in the in the 1800s and stuff. There wasn't a lot of sanitation laws there, and at the time they actually you would have the homeless, the clinically insane, and the poor all in the same rehabilitation center. So there was a lot of rapes, there was a lot of uncontrolled type of experiments and stuff like that.
Yes.
Which a lot of those stuffs are in jars and stuff like that still there on the property. Yes, as kids we went and we broke in there. That was like the abandoned hospital was the thing to do, because scary stuff, right? 90s kids vibe. But
yes. Yes, I was into that.
I like the Goonies.
We didn't know what we were doing. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, like tampering with these energies, we're crazy.
Old abandoned factory and see what happens, and like then 2 years later I have a house fire. Like I don't know what happened.
Oh yeah, that one entity attachment from that one time. Oh my God. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's not get into it. Time out. Let me finish this one really quick. So then what ended up happening was like in 1889 there was a very strong storm, and it actually there were a lot of bodies that were in shallow graves. Like I said, at the time there was a lot of there wasn't a lot of money that was going into these rehabilitation centers, and everything was kind of smushed together. So there was actually a landslide of bodies that happened on that land, and then eventually they actually moved over the rehabilitation center.
Ooh, wow, that's deep. That's crazy.
Wow. And that's just local legend. Imagine, like, and then that's not including the big stuff that we know. If you guys know about Wonderland, what happened, like that crazy drug trade that happened too, and that's all here. Michael Jackson's Thriller house, that's here.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of because I've had friends that's lived in your area and moved out and then felt the different energy effects, and I feel like there's a lot of unhealed trauma That's just
Well,
really
this is like number, it's like a number, our port, this is like one of the number one portals right here, I want to say.
yeah.
Like Los Angeles is not for everybody. LA will eat you up. It'll
Yeah.
eat you up. And it's very sad because people actually don't talk about this. And this is actually why the homeless rate is actually very high up here as well, because a lot of people come with that pipe dream of Hollywood, you know, they come for Californication, right? Red chili
Well,
pepper bites.
this is going to
And
be a little off topic, but have you seen the documentary Hotel Cecile?
no, but I think I've seen the documentary though, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
For people, this is Scorpio season for you. I'm going to rewatch it because I wanted to do an astrology series on it actually, because there's a really weird storyline that I think astrology can tie everything in. But that
I feel the same way about the Queen Mary. I feel the same way about the Queen Mary.
it's wild. It's so wild. It's right on point for like people who are watching this during Scorpio season. Like this stuff is perfect right now. Like, this is
We just came off of Halloween. We just came out of Dia de los Muertos. Like the veils are still very thin.
yeah.
And that's what, like, you know, we did go into it with angels versus with fairies, like just breaking those lines. This weekday motivational messages, I actually, when I started collaborating with Uki, I had to move over, and then we started doing winning Wednesdays and wandering Wednesdays, which was kind of like she wanted to do winning, I wanted to do wandering because I wanted my messages to be more elusive and be more for the collective than any like motivation. I wanted to kind of pull away from that.
Yeah.
But because it was a collaboration, we went ahead and like, hey, every other month. I mean, every other week.
Mhm.
And then we hit, speaking of transits being able to explain everything, we hit Mercury retrograde in Gemini, and she's a Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius. So I told her that Gemini Mercury going to retrograde is going to make her feel funny, and she was going to be she came at me very sideways, and it was so weird. It was the weirdest thing ever. She was just like bitching about the way that I posted the pictures.
Oh,
And I was like, we've been doing this for months. You want to stop a whole collaboration because you're mad about the way that I saved the pictures?
right.
No,
That
you haven't been sending them to me individually since like I don't know when, and you're telling me like why am I screenshotting them? Like so that I could post them, obviously, because you're not sending them to me individually. So then I had even told her, I was like, we'll start sending them to me on my email then, so that I could save them in a different way. And the thing is, now that I have a laptop, because at the time I didn't have a laptop, I could see the difference.
yeah.
But also at the same time, like now that I make my own posters, I'm like, you got me all the way fucked up.
Because I make my own posters out. I love your posters. They're always so colorful and fun. Yeah, they're great. I mean, you made the ones for us for this podcast, and I thought they were amazing. Because I am, believe it or not, yes, Libra rising. I'm really good at decorating, but like other than that, I'm confused. Technology, like I've got the North Node in the 4th house in Aquarius. I need to tap into the tech more. I'm trying, but
I feel you, because I'm not tech savvy at all. That's why I was so appreciative of what she brought to the table,
yeah.
which made me very upset. The fact that she was over here like, well, you know, basically trying to say that I wasn't taking my job serious, even though I was providing the product.
Right, the messages.
Right?
Well, this is you then, because this is all your channeled messages.
What I ended up having to do was, because like after winning Wednesdays, we started doing flashback Fridays. Yeah. Like we broke up and then we came back together, which I was very elusive about. I was kind of like, no, I even rejected the offer at first. And she kind of was like, no, like we could do this again and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think there's 3 messages of flashback Fridays. I got completely spiritually attacked. Not only did I get spiritually attacked, I had to go and I had to confront her, because I was like, hey, dude, like, what is this energy that it's attached to me? Because I ended up finding out that one of the profiles that she was using to promote our business on was using somebody who was he was very famous, I guess, over there on that side. He's an Indian singer and actor. I forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Also, I don't want to
exploit him.
yeah, you know, I don't want to exploit but the thing is that she had actually um his whole like image and stuff tied with mine, what actually caused a rift in my energy field, because she made that profile on 12/21, which happened to be his birthday, which also happened to be the Pluto Saturn Jupiter conjunction.
Oh,
She necromanced my energy.
oh, I see. Yeah.
And
But not knowingly?
uh okay, so
Should we wait?
that's where I was like, when I this is where I had to confront her, right? Because I'm like, I need to know if you did it on purpose. So, which led to a whole
Well,
other argument.
hold on. Let's tell people who don't know about the Saturn Pluto, right, conjunction, which is what led to COVID, which is it was a huge dynamic in the sky and the energy right now, where there's Pluto, the dynamic of the underworld, of dark, of secrecy, of negative energy, conjunct Saturn, which is often about restrictive boundaries in our life. And that kind of conjunction can put a huge hold on an individual personally, but also in the collective, which is what it did. It manifested as COVID out in the world. That's why we're all in shutdown and lockdown for a whole year, right? So you can imagine how these dynamics will play out in many different ways. So if you start a business or you put something out there under this type of energy, this is called electional astrology. If you start something under this, or you do a manifestation under this or something, you're calling in this type of energy. And so she casts this on you, essentially.
Essentially, yes, because the man that that she was using for the picture was actually, he, like I said, it was his birthday, which is so crazy that he's an Aquarius that just so happened to have his birthday on such a crazy conjunction at that time. And then on top of that, he had actually committed suicide.
Oh,
So
wow.
he was a suicide spirit
Oh,
that was caught in the middle of all of this energy.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, it doesn't matter if you believe in conspiracy theories or not, but there is a lot of negative energy around celebrities and how they got it to their position. Madonna is definitely one of them. I was part of one of her rituals, and freaking she did a ritual on the Scorpio full moon. She does this every concert that she does. She's always about 4 hours late, you know, so she's doing whatever she's doing in the venue, and then she's preparing it for, and I really do feel like it was a sex ritual. I'm not going to lie to you, because like I really just I felt over sexualized that day just in itself. My mom was actually there with me too when we were working at the forum, and I was actually initially supposed to be at the stage, and I told my mom, no, I actually don't want to be that close to her. I need to be a little bit farther, because I can't deal with the energy or with the people that we're actually going to be trying to, you know, try to get up close to her and reach. But just recently, because it was literally the Scorpio full moon.
The one that
That,
was like 6 months ago, or
no. It was a while ago. It was a couple years ago. I actually have. It was during the Rebel Heart tour,
okay.
2016, I believe.
Yep.
But there's a lot of energy like that you pull from coming off of that, and it's so funny because like just recently I felt like, thinking back on it, I was like remembering watching the show and everything, how over sexualized everybody came to her concert, and what it represents. A lot of like the S&M community, and a lot of the, you know, the LGBT community, and, you know, etc.
Yeah.
And, you know, like all the different energies that she's pulling in, and you're just staring there watching her feeding into that energy, feeding into that manifestation of that dark sexual energy that is Scorpio energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're putting it on the full moon, and then what were we just talking about, that dark side of the moon, Lilith energy?
Yeah.
Like I really feel like she siphoned a lot of our energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like she did it to the wrong people, I think, or there's the transits are definitely pulling away from that. More is definitely the 1221 conjunction, because now she's getting sued for a lot of those coming in late and stuff like that to those different concerts, which to
Oh,
me is the total like epitome or the manifestation of that magic backfiring, right?
well, yes, because it's not bad magic if your intention is positive behind it, but if you're manipulating it for negative intention, then it's going to backfire on you for sure. For sure. Wow, that's powerful. I didn't even know that she was getting sued or anything like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was just like one of those realizations, because like it was like it happened so long ago. Like I wasn't even like, especially at the time, I wasn't thinking about like, you know, oh, this woman is ciphering my energy and whatever. Like I'm just thinking like a virgin.
Yeah, you're just like loving, yeah, you're just like enchanted by it.
And then you're just like, and then like out of nowhere, you're just like, bro, Britney Spears, bro. That day she was freaking smacking Katy Perry's butt in front of everybody. And I'm just like, dude, this is a fucking initiation. Who were they waiting for that day to come in? Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like it's all this shit. Like people could say what they want, that oh, it's just conspiracy theories. It's like I worked in venues for a lot of years. Ask me about my LA resume. There is a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes. Poor Kesha.
Yeah.
Poor Kesha. You know, like you guys do not understand what these celebrities go through. And then the worst part is, it's like when I was talking about Lucifer and Lilith and that whole effect.
Yeah.
They want to talk shit about these celebrities and they want to talk shit about these demons, but they're not even educated enough to speak on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you're still right here trying to blame the victims for being victimizers and not being able to sympathize with the ones that were behind it the whole entire, the ones that created the monster, right? Initially.
Right. Oh man.
You guys talk about Madonna too, like they did her astrology chart, and every which way she was meant to be in the spotlight. She was meant to be a high priestess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, usually, like, I feel like they can't deny it, and again, it manifests either in the light or the shadow, right? It's just gonna, because we all have these power dynamics, we all have these dynamics in our chart. Our chart's meant to do this, right? But there's two ways it can come out.
One way or the, and the high priestess is the biggest. I feel like the I have the original tarot right here. Let me see.
Oh,
that
yeah.
shows you that because you have the dark and the light pillar, right?
Mm. I love when you take out the cards.
There she is. Look, see?
Yeah.
Like you can see the light and the dark pillar, and that's exactly what she manifests. And look, the Five of Cups. What was I talking about? The Five of Cups energy, Scorpio season. Right next to the high priestess.
As when you get a reading with her, it is always just so synchronistic. It really, really is. It's wild.
I can't deny it sometimes. Sometimes, right, Michaela? Doesn't it just come out? It's like I can't even lie to you. Like it's all right here. It falls into place.
It does. Okay, so while we're talking about these demon entities and stuff, we need to go to the Modern Day Spirituality book. Okay. Yeah. And this is what we've been leading up to and talking about. So personally, this is my favorite. I've been sending these stories because it's filled with these like messages, stories, very educational. You can use this for like tarot, for ritual, for spirituality, for I mean, many, many things. But I found these messages like amazing to send to people when I feel like they need the message too. So like, first off, this is my Christmas gift to like everybody I know. Like I already know this. This is going in everybody's stocking. I sent this to my therapist. She loved the message that I sent. I will open it up and need some messages. I mean, yeah, I just love it. So let's talk about this book, because this one's, I mean, they're all awesome, but these stories are amazing.
So Modern Day Spirituality initially started off really, really late night, one October night. I was actually hanging out with one of my Scorpio peoples back in the day, and I actually just started ripping pages out of my notebooks, and I was like, if we're gonna do a book, then we're just gonna do a book now. And I just started ripping all of these pages out, and he's right here pulling off the strings of the of where the hoops go,
Paper,
and
yeah, yes.
he's paging the numbers for me, like page 1, page 2. And it's actually really cute because I actually dedicated the book to him, and it's actually in the letters to the author,
Oh,
where I talk about how the book came to be that night. And how it ended up manifesting was that it came out in book 1, book 2, and book 3. Now the idea is that you don't have to read the book cover to cover,
no.
because once again, like Debbie's very dyslexic. Also, I got a little bit of ADHD in there. I was like, so I have a little bit of a hard time actually sitting still. And actually, I actually found out that a lot of my clients have a lot of the same OCD problems, the same anxiety problems, PTSD, and all that stuff. Like the post-traumatic stress syndrome is actually a lot of what I get in actually my younger clients, which is actually crazy enough, right?
Yeah.
So when I was when I was putting the book together, I initially had all of those people in mind, because I was like, not everybody, not all of us are going to want to read it cover to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's be real about it. And then not just that, I was like, there's too many different contexts here that I see that it doesn't quite seem right, but it does go together. So it was like a part of it was trying to find those keys to bring it together, right? So book 1 is actually the Fool's Journey, right? Which if you know the Fool's Journey, that's actually the major arcana of the tarot, right? That's going from 0, the Fool, all the way to 21, which is the World card, the end of cycles. So that's where I'm taking you in that first book, which will trigger, if you're actually clearing everything that's going on there, will lead you to the second book, which is Blast from the Past, where you can actually get those keys to opening up to those past life issues, those past life cycles that have opened up in this timeline, in this lifetime, that actually started somewhere closer to Atlantis, somewhere closer to the times in Rome, somewhere closer to, maybe like just a lifetime before this one, or just learning how to hear the fairies, how to hear the angels, how to hear them in this lifetime. Hearing them through the different alarms, or through the different random sounds, the random honks in a horn, or the screams of a child, like sometimes you just know when it's synchronistic.
A helicopter flying over, whatever. It happened to me literally the other day when I was, yep.
Yeah, I have that here too. I have drawings that randomly like come through, and I'll have like weird stuff that's happening like with my laptop and stuff. And you just know it's synchronistic.
Yeah.
And which eventually leads you to the third book, which is Back to the Present, which is actually just grounding yourself and allowing your manifestations to come to fruition. Which the last poem I actually omitted, which was from Modern Day Spirituality. They all have 12 of Back to the Present. It first had 13, but I took out her, which was actually the divine masculine's point of view of the divine feminine at that point. But I took it out because it didn't make sense if you weren't the divine masculine.
Okay, people aren't ready for it.
No, you weren't ready for it. So I omitted it out, and it's actually it was actually better that way, because now you could actually you get to create your own ending, or create your new journey, right?
Oh, I like
Start
that.
back at 0.
Yes, I like that. So you allow people for their free will at that end. And yeah, that's very high priestess of you. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't
But
want
I get
everybody
you with that.
to
I understand you
like
with that.
It had to be that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was there was a hiccup with this, or you feel like that was, you wanted to share, an entity that was attached, you felt that you.
Oh yes, 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 yes. We kind of got over it. But this is why I actually used Madonna as an example as well, because I believe that this is the exact same entity that she called on that night. That this entity that was actually pulled out of me while this woman was using this necromancy ritual.
Right.
Like I said, I did confront her eventually, and I did ask her, and then it seemed like she didn't know what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And but then when she tried to get me to like combine with her again to do more work, and I rejected it. I told her no, because we actually came up with this really exciting project of how to how people that were to be more aware of suicidal tendencies and deal with anxiety and depression. And she wanted to go and straight steal my idea.
So I think it's
So
really important that you're actually mentioning this right now for a few reasons. One of them is that I don't think a lot of people are aware that these demon entities like actually are in our spiritual realms, and that we can clear them. And sometimes they're attached to us, and like we just think it's like a problem or an addiction or whatever, but it's deeper than that. It's way
yeah, a lot
deeper.
of the times it does manifest as an addiction. That's why we have the devil card, right? That's why we have the devil card. I believe I saw him earlier too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why we have the devil card in the sync, because he does manifest as addictions. He does manifest as different types of entity attachments. However, the difference is that there's this game that demons play, and and this is why I say this, because I actually have Pluto in the 8th house.
I'm gonna share this demon on the screen, by the way, while you're
Oh yes.
well, because I just want people to be able to see it while you are talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mini demon. See, the having Pluto in the 8th house means that I am actually open to exorcism. And the way that my exorcism gifts work is I must call these demons out by their name, show them who they are to society, and then they no longer could they can no longer have their thrills while they're here.
Right.
So I actually do these readings called what demon is attached to your karmic and why. I have them on YouTube. I actually did a live Halloween special of one as well for a live personal reading, which I actually provide these services as well, where I could actually identify the demons that are attached to your probably like 10 of swords energy, your generational curse, or wherever you may pick it up, like at a concert, for example, where I was at. Yeah. Or just dealing with these people who don't know what they're doing, and they're playing with necromancy, and it ends up manifesting this demon. So what ended up happening was this Nabi Negreto is from Indonesia initially on that side. Now over here in North America, we have a folklore tale that is from Mexico, that is these wild hogs that they come in groups, and they're set on fire, which is the same idea of this demon that we have right here. So yeah. This is the mama of all demons. This is the original one. Now, how she manifests is it's actually through a witchcraft ritual for money. And what happens is you have to sacrifice somebody. It requires blood. And if you cannot give that demon that blood, it comes after you. So now these hogs that come in how would you call it, like stampedes, yeah, in Mexico, are actually fire demons. And they are a part of this army dealing with this demon. The reason why is because these are actually spirits that were sacrificed to this ritual. So they are stuck in this anger, in this fire-filled element, and it manifests in these fire demons. And initially they become a part of this army. What happens is that every time somebody does a witchcraft ritual, okay, not a money ritual, not just a trying to pull out from
Abundance. Yeah.
an abundance. No, a actual dark magic ritual that requires blood sacrifice,
Like ill intention.
with ill intentions. Because
Yeah.
what happens is that when you cannot provide the blood, it comes back for you,
Yeah.
the person who puts on it, and then you become a hog for a few days, and then you steal this
Yeah.
initial abundance, or you steal the money and stuff like that, and then you come back from being a hog.
Yeah.
But not everybody has that, like not everybody has that option. Obviously, depending on what you have in your Akashic records, a demon won't probably even want to let you be in that vessel, allow you to have those kind of gifts, because you've just been doing it for who knows how many lifetimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm like, where I was able to call out this entity and tell them about to free the anger demons, because it's not their fault. They were sacrificed because somebody wanted to steal their abundance.
Right.
So the reason that they're out there running these stampedes is they're looking for someone to replace them, which means that this cycle will never be closed, right? If they just keep sacrificing.
It's to bring it back down for people who are new to this. It's very literal of like children who are wounded as children, and then they grow up and become murderers, or
Yeah,
like
Richard Ramirez type thing. Like,
yes.
like some people just have fucked up poisonous choices. That's my best friend's favorite saying.
Yeah.
Like, some people really just do have that, and it's up to you whether you want to heal from it or not.
Yeah.
So these anger demons, I was like, that's not fair.
Right.
Like, I don't think that's fair. So being able to call that out, that with being able to use the conjunction and everything, because we know that conjunction is good for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Or closer to 8 years now.
Yeah, 8, yeah.
Yeah, closer to 8 years now. So it's definitely gonna be able to open up to close these cycles, because even though, like, demons were fallen angels, we were all on the same side at one point. This is why you can't get mad at Lucifer for giving us free will, because at the end of the day, guess what? God still fucks with Lucifer. That was his favorite angel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All he did was like, hey, you know what? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Well, we know, we need light and shadow anyway for the duality in life and the balance of the universe. It's like we can't just be like, oh, they're gone forever, disassociate from it. Like the healing work that you do in your tarot and your spirituality and the calling out of it. And I love that you're so straightforward and you're so honest and you're so direct, because this is the type of healing that I want to see more of. This is the type of work that I want to see, because it's straight to the point. It's straight to the point, and it's what's needed, but it's so beautiful. It's also healing. And so these books are amazing because it does help people ascend. It does help open them up and clear things up. And then obviously, like, get a reading with her. If you're going to get the books too, like, just, you need to do the dual, you're like coaching with this, so it's really, both are needed hand in hand.
The idea though is that the tools are divination tools, so that you could be very much encouraged to do your own self-healing, because shadow work is very difficult. And the hermit mode is called hermit mode for a reason, because a lot of the times you do get pulled back into that rabbit hole. And I really really hope that these books really help you climb out of it, really, because going down the rabbit hole is inevitable.
Yes.
It's inevitable.
I literally just talked about the rabbit hole in my Scorpio New Moon video, because I'm like, hey guys, you're gonna be falling down Alice's Wonderland hole, like, just, you're gonna come out of it.
You know what? I believe wow. I don't know if it's angels with fairies, or is it modern day spirituality. One of them is like from Wonderland to Oz.
Oh, let me see. If I have it, I'm gonna read it. Or if you have it.
If I have it, I'll read it. If you have it, you read it.
It's not.
I think it's like modern day spirituality.
Is it falling from Wonderland to Oz?
Yes.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
All right. As I sit in awe, watching the ley lines slowly begin to open and watch our destinies unraveling, I step back. In confusion, as a new path now revealing an unrecorded and yet unknown life. Like an old tale wishing to unfold, I see the changes in the timeline. At first, I stand shaking in shock, petrified at the thought of loss or of change. Lost, I stumbled and tripped, falling into darkness. Alone in the descent, I begin instead to envision the life of, well, me. But as I tried to recall the memories of the reality I just fell from, the scene of a yellow brick road begins to form in front of me. No longer falling into the great abyss, I let my eyes adjust to the glitter dancing in between the brick's design. As my eyes continue to adjust to the newly found color and shine of this newly found place, I begin to notice a pattern hidden deep in the detail. A pattern that brings back those very memories I thought were lost in the descent. So, what is this pattern that brings back the miracle of memories of who I am, but my good witch from the north's decorations of victory wreath, leading me back to the city of abundance? Oh, I like that. Better known as the Emerald City. Through a scarecrow, Tin Man, and poppies lie ahead in my journey still. I jump, run, and even skip towards the new adventure that leads nowhere other than home. Wow. That's just like awesome. Just, oh my God, I'm going to the tears. And I was on YouTube. We got two guys.
I try not to. The Emerald City, Emerald is my birthstone.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. It's okay, we can let it out. It's the new moon.
Right? It's like that's the best time to purge.
It's amazing. This is awesome. So
I think it's so funny, like, and I love the idea that like you open up to it and you find what you need. And sometimes like, and this is where I'm happy to see it do what it's doing, because I could the idea was that you can open it up and find whatever it is that you need. But because you're like, well, like you're like me and you're coaching and you're doing this, like you found what I needed for me. So it's like you really can use it for like no matter what side of the spectrum that you're on. It's like you want to help people or you want to help yourself, it's all there for whoever needs it.
yeah, this isn't that the craziness about synchronization, is that that's how the universe works. Is like in these weird, amazing, magical ways that, like, you know, the more you open to it, the more you feel it and see it. And that reading might hit somebody else like listening to this on the YouTube, you know, and it's
Because I'm hearing it, and sometimes I laugh because I tell people this all the time. Sometimes I don't know where that came from. I'm like, that came out of me, but like I'm like, where? From where?
yep. Yep.
But it just it also like it brings in this gratitude type of energy too. It just makes me so happy, like for my angels, my spirit guides, and everybody who's been helping me like really bring this stuff to life, because it was all just a dream, right?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was all just a dream.
Yeah. Good for you. I'm so happy. You've come a long way in your journey, I'm sure, from like a child till now. It's like you look back and it's like,
Yeah, because I mean, like the first time I ever took a creative writing class, I was in seventh grade. In seventh grade, it was the easiest class I ever took in my life. Ever took in my life. It was really, yeah, and it was so crazy how beautiful it was. And I ended up taking an 11th grade. Look, it's so crazy, 7 and 11, right?
yes.
11 is also my master path number, by the way, and it's 311 over here on this side.
Oh.
In 11th grade, I took an AP class with a man, dude, I want to say one of the freaking meanest teachers you will ever have in your life. And it's funny because like I felt like I was straight bullied out of that class, dude. Like I swear to God. And there was always this weird like division between like the AP students and the creative students, especially the ones that did like live theater and stuff like that, which of course I did both. And of course, like a couple of other my friends that did both. A good Aries friend who actually she's like a model now, and my friend Matthew, who's actually also a Taurus, and he's graduated from like Long Beach City College, and I mean, sorry, Long Beach State College, and doing his thing. But like I do feel like the next year, my senior year, I came back and I still took the AP class, even though I ended up dropping it. I still took the AP test at the end of the year, and I actually passed with a 4. So if you guys know that, if you guys ever taken AP classes, you could only get like a grade of 1 through 5, 5
Oh,
being
so
the
you
greatest,
were,
and 5, yeah, I still hit it. I hit it on the 4th, and it was because of my writing.
wow.
Because yeah, it was because of my
Well,
writing.
I am actually very like your writing is beautiful. Like it's really good. So yeah, I do like it. And even the project that we're working on, I'm like reading through the stuff and I'm like, wow, this is like really, really good writing. I love it. And the way you transmute the cards, which is what you're gonna do now for us, right? You're gonna, yeah, you're gonna do a
I'll do a quick little collective reading for the Light Collective, really quick.
yeah.
And I'm gonna bring out. I'm gonna do the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. I'm gonna
Okay.
bring out the Mermaids by Lucy Candavish, and then I'm gonna finish off with the Right Away.
Awesome.
Okay, let's see.
Got me and my dog.
Okay. So we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? Okay. You have the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's opening. I'm sorry, it's happening for you, not to you, and boundaries. Okay, first of all, this screams Scorpio energy all over it for me, like especially for this new moon. There's a lot of people who already know that they're on this path of light, and they know that they've actually been called to mother themselves for some time. And I feel like somebody is overworking themselves. Definitely trying to get everything done. I feel like in a short amount of time. However, if there's some kind of like I feel like some kind of stuntedness, something that comes into your path that actually stops you in your tracks, it's because there's some kind of boundary that you have to put up. And you need to trust your path, because if you knew that you were supported, what would you do? Because it's already in your Akashic records to be moving forward to something that you were meant to, which, like I said, a lot of you guys are already enlightened to the process of what you're doing and how you're supposed to do it. You're just not ready for this little crash course that's about to happen, that's about to stop you in your tracks, like I said. But it's okay, because it was meant to be with the Akasha under the deck. Like, it was really meant to be in this way. And I know it sounds wrong, or it's going to seem at the time that this is not what you asked for, but this is exactly what you asked for. Exactly what you asked for. And this is like, it's going to kind of like manifest in a way where this is like your last test, because there is something that you thought you wanted that's going to move forward very quickly. And you're either going to, you're going to accept it or you're going to reject it, but either way it's going to come towards you, and you need to make a decision, because once that decision is made, you're going to be able to, I feel like, blast off into the next part of your journey. You have the 10 of Wands here. Heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, and weightlessness and visions. I'm telling you, you've already seen the vision. And I feel like at this point, you're actually seeing the vision unfold. Keep on working on your rituals. Keep on working on your abundance prayers, or calling in your abundance here. I feel like a lot of you guys need to work with the water element. Some of you guys need to ground yourself. Definitely go to the beach. Definitely feel those waves hit your feet. I feel like something needs to be broken. There's like some kind of energetic shackles here that are need to be loosened up here. A lot of you guys could have been seeing this in your dream state. Some of you guys maybe even need to like hash out some kind of masculine tendencies that are misogynistic that actually don't serve you for your highest good. This actually could be manifesting in the form of a brother or a father figure here that's actually very controlling of your life, and you actually been pushing it off towards the background or something, but it's definitely going to be moved up into for something for you to see, because this Scorpio new moon is not going to allow you to cover it up anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, with wisdom of the shells here, most definitely you're going to see it coming, and you're just going to have to wait to figure out if you're going to actually postpone your dreams, or you're going to just go crash course into them, because somebody's really trying to stop you from seeing something come into complete fruition. Yeah, because they want to see you actually be left out in the cold here with the Queen of Pentacles. There could be a mother and a father figure that could be working against you. It could be kind of like a father and a stepmother, or a stepfather and a mother type of duo here. Yeah, but all they want is self-sabotage for your life and for you to be left out in the cold. Double fives here. Yeah, but it's okay, because you're going to balance everything out here with the Six of Pentacles, because you're going to take action when action's needed to be taken. And I feel like you're going to invest in yourself first, and that's actually going to bring you all the progression you need to come forward and the success you need. And you're actually moving forward quickly, and I feel like very aggressively towards your success with the Six of Wands here.
I have chills for the collective right now.
It sounds good. Like everything is leading to light, laying down foundations in the divine plan. Everything is where you're exactly where you need to be right now, where you're where you need to be right now at this moment.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. What a good reading, actually.
New moons are like to actually like be off on the Six of Pentacles, Chariot, and Six of Wands energy. That just means that a brand new project is about to launch. So whatever it is that you're working on, whether it be healing, whether it be with your family, whether it be like just holiday plans, like really anything that you're putting your energy into right now is going to go into fruition very beautifully.
Amazing. This is so wonderful for this Scorpio new moon.
No.
I love this. So you guys have seen her, like she's amazing at what she does. She really is. And I'll let you do the spiel, but like to tell everybody, like, so they can find you on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and you tell them how they can find you. Yes.
On TikTok, you could find me on Starr's Universe 777. You could find me on YouTube, Starr of the Universe, all together. Stars with 2 R's. All of these are Starr with 2 R's.
I'll put it on the below too. I'll link it below for everybody.
Yeah. Starr of the Universe Tarot with the space between universe and tarot, and then for IG it's all together, Starr of the Universe Tarot, no space whatsoever. And then if you guys are looking for the books, all of them are posted on Amazon for purchase. And then if you want them for free, you could always get them free with Kindle Unlimited for ebooks.
That's awesome. They want a reading with you, they reach out to you through Instagram.
Instagram, yes. I'm only taking personal readings through Instagram as of right now. I know that there's a lot of fraud going on Instagram. We are working on getting a website up and running at some point.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Until then, we definitely have the Instagram. You could always reach out through there, or if you're not comfortable through Instagram, you could always DM me and I'll send you an email link if you'd like.
Yeah, perfect. And then also you do weekly readings. You want to tell them when you go on?
I do week ahead readings every Sunday for Instagram. I do every other week for love, general message every week, and then you get the new moons and the full moons readings. If you're looking for zodiac specific messages will always be on YouTube. And I go live for the what you need to know in the next 72 hours. And I also go live bi-weekly. If you're looking for the what demon is attached to your karmic and why that's actually over there as well. I'm going to start a membership on YouTube as well, you guys. So where we could do these one-on-one readings with the demonstrations with the books, if you actually want to become a member. And also you'll be prioritized for personal readings as well, if you guys want to go ahead and join the membership.
I love it. I love it. This has been amazing. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you for
Yeah,
doing
no
all
problem.
the thank you for like your creation. Like, thank you. And your spirit guides.
Oh yes, always. Like angels, adventures with angels and fairies was definitely an offering and a straight dedication to the ancestors, because I don't know where I would be without them.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say before I stop the recording?
No, thank you, Michaela. I really appreciate you having me on. And you guys know where to find me.
Yeah. All right. You're welcome. Thanks, guys, everybody. Thank you for being on the Secret Astrology. Like always, you have unlimited potential. You are cosmic warriors, and I will be back again with you soon. Thanks.